Hello guys and welcome back to another Hunter's Prestige fitment video. On today's video we're going to be fitting the LED grill light. Now we have two variations of these that we supply, which is the smoked and the white. Let's get started. Tools required for this job is a T30 drill bit as well as a T20, a 10mm socket, cable ties and wire cutters, a pick, either plastic or metal, a trim tool, you can use a plastic or a metal one, a flathead screwdriver, a longer pick if necessary, long nose pliers, or alternatively you can use a fuse grabber, masking tape and a wire guide. For the purpose of this video we'll be using an electric ratchet just to speed up the process. Okay, so for the purpose of the video, Nicky's going to be doing all the work as always, and I'm just going to stand here and actually tell you what he's doing. So the first thing I want to do is obviously open the bonnet. The next thing you need to do is on the shroud you have 4 little clips you just need to release. The best way to do that is just to poke the top part of the clip and then use a trim tool to remove the top. Next you have 4 bolts that you need to remove, and you need a Torx bit for this. I believe it's a T30 to remove them. Okay, so now all those clips and the bolts have been removed, you can now take off the plastic shroud. There is 2 little retainers either side that just basically locate it in place. So you pop one side off and the other side should follow. Okay, the next step is to actually fit some masking tape. We like to do this just to have a little bit of security when you're actually removing any panels, stop you from scratching anything. Okay, the next step is to actually release the clips which actually retain the front grille in. Best way to do this is with a pick. You may need a head torch to see them. We'll show you shortly what they look like when they actually are removed. They are quite tricky to get, so the longer pick that you use, the easier it is for you. Using a trim tool, just release the little part on the electric connector just so that the grill can come off. The best way to release these clips, actually retain the grill onto the front, is to actually just push with a pick inwards just to release them, so then the little triangle like pyramid is able to come off. Okay, the next step is to actually take off the ACC module, as you can see here, from the back of the grill. They are T20 Torx. There is 4 screws holding it in place, so once they're removed, the ACC module is released. Okay, just like on the front of the grill, there's also retainer clips that hold on the black part or silver part in some cases of the grill on. So again, using a pick, just push those clips inwards just to release them from the actual moulding. you may need to use an additional trim tool just to actually put a little bit of leverage behind it. Sometimes they can be a little bit difficult to come out. Okay, the next step is to actually remove the wire from the ACC unit. We're holding the wire on to the actual grill. Best way to do that is with a flat trim tool. You can use plastic or a metal one. We use a metal one just because it's easier. There's just 3 bungs holding it on, which are fir tree clips. Next step is to actually remove the ACC grill badge. They're actually held on by some retainer clips on the other side. Best tools for this job is just to use a smaller pick and also a trim tool. Okay, so as you can see, this is the back of the actual grill badge. There's 5 release clips that you need to release, and then 3 retainer pins. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is actually put the grill badge into the new LED grill. The easiest way to do that is to just turn it upside down, just push it in. You should hear it click when it's in properly. So same release pins that you released from the grill, you now want to put the new LED grill light into the front grill. Just make sure you hit all the retaining pins click, just to make sure they're in properly. Then just do a visual check just to make sure that all the pins are free. Okay, now that's all done. We need to reinstall the ACC module into the grill. So we're just going to reinstall it again with the 4 screws that we removed previously with a T20 torque bit. And then don't forget just to reinstall the fir tree clips that retain the wiring. Next step, just unravel the wire. And next thing we're going to do is just wrap some masking tape around the 2 connections that we're now about to run the chase. Okay, Next step is to put some bit of masking tape on the end of the wire guide, just so we can run the wires. Where we're going to go is just above the headlight. Then run it through around the wing. And then again, follow it through the wing of the car, around the outside. Remove the masking tape. And then we're going to put the grille back on the car. Just line up all 4 retainer pins on each side. Just make sure that the wire is loose and in the correct place, like so. And push the grille in until you hear a click. You can now remove the masking tape we put there for security. You don't have to use masking tape, but we like to, just to keep it safe. And just reconnect the wire until you hear a click, and then pushing the retainer on the top of the connector. There's also a little guide where this connector actually clips in, to stop from rattling. Next step is to remove the top shroud. So there's flathead bolts that you need to remove. And 3 plastic clips that you just need to twist and then use a trim tool to remove. Obviously this is all to gain access to the fuse box, which is on the left hand side if it's a right hand drive vehicle. Obviously if it's a left hand drive vehicle, it's on the opposite side on the right. There's now 4 clips holding on the fuse cover that you need to release. We'll show you this when the fuse box cover is off the vehicle. Here are the releases. Just want to tuck the fuse wire a little bit more underneath the wing. What we'll do is we're going to use some cable ties just to secure the wire around the wing. Okay, we now need to actually install the negative and the obviously fuse, which is the positive in this case. Find decent air from the vehicle. What we usually do is go for the top of the strut. This is the same air that we actually use on the opposite side when we fit our pod lights. And what we do is we just release the 10mm bolt here, put the connector underneath it, and then tighten the bolt back up. And we're just going to use some cable ties just to tidy up the wire a little bit. That also reduces any rattle. Okay, we're now about to install the fuse. The best way to remove the fuse is actually use some long nose pliers or actually a fuse remover. And the actual fuse connection where you need to be putting it in is F7B, which is the right hand side of the fuse box. And this is where the fuse actually is, where you have to remove it. Obviously what we will do is also put the topics diagram up because it is quite hard to see. Once you've removed the fuse, install the new fuse with the wire attached and run the wire and tuck it underneath the rubber part of the fuse box. Okay, so now we've got the positive and the negative now connected. We're just going to make sure that the grill actually powers on. So we're just going to turn on the ignition. As you can see, it sweeps. So that tells us that obviously the connection is good. Okay, now that's all done. We need to put the fuse cover back on top of the fuse box. Also make sure when you're putting the fuse box cover back onto the fuse box, all of the clips retain and you can hear them clip. And also make sure that the wires are on the rubber. Okay, now you need to put the top shroud back on again. Make sure the retaining pins at the back are actually underneath it. Can be tricky to put on sometimes. Put the 3 plastic clips back in and push them down, and also the 2 bolts in the middle. There are 4 nut clips on the top of the grill that you just need to remove and actually put on the LED grill light. This is obviously where the bolts and the top moulding of the grill actually go in. Now that's done, we put the plastic moulder back in. Remember, the retainers at the top need to be in the locators in order to be in properly. You'll know if they're in properly because all of the holes will line up with the clips and the bolts that you removed. Put the retaining clips in again and push them down. Then put the 4 Torx bolts back in. Remember, this is a T30 bit. Okay, that is the end of our fitment guide on how to fit the LED grow light I hope you found this video nice and easy to follow, and if you've got any questions, please feel free to drop a comment below or get in contact with our sales team. If you have any questions, or if you have any questions on any other products that we supply and want to see any more fitment videos, please get in contact with us and we'll be more than happy to help. See you on the next video.